Logic, aka Bobby Tarantino, is seemingly unretiring, but why? In June of 2020, Logic shocked the hip-hop world as he announced his retirement with the release of his final project, No Pressure. This was a sequel to what I and many others would consider to be Logic's best project, Under Pressure, that dropped in 2013. And according to Logic, he did this mostly due to the negative feedback he was getting on his music over the last couple of years, and he wanted to start taking his brand in a new direction as he felt he had pretty much done it all when it came to rap. I mean, he had hit singles, he sold out tours, made songs with the rap god Eminem, remade watered down versions of Good Kid, Mad City and To Pimp a Butterfly. Okay, I'm just kidding, Logic stands. Stop typing. And he was also ready to start settling down with a family as he introduced his first child into the world. On top of this, Logic announced a 7-figure deal with Twitch as he was going to start streaming regularly on there to connect with fans.
For tuning the fuck in, I'm gonna be streaming so much, it's gonna be insane.
But this video did not age well because less than a year later, he began releasing music more often than most unretired rappers. So let's dive a little deeper and see exactly what led to Logic down the path of returning back to music, how did the Twitch stream perform, and what does Logic himself have to say about having the shortest retirement known to man. But before we get into that, here's a quick word from our sponsor. Do you need a cool gift idea or decoration? Say no more. DM at Louaista on Instagram if you guys need a canvas like this one. I can do any album, any picture you want. Just hit me up on Instagram at Louaista. I reply extremely fast, and you can check out highlights for tons of examples of my work and reviews from people who have bought. Back to the video. Despite the negative feedback he's gotten over the years, Logic was undoubtedly a $1 million brand. This isn't a case similar to Chance the Rapper, who, after the release of The Big Day, he literally had to cancel his tour due to low ticket sales. On top of that, Logic employs a lot of people, so he either had to cut a large portion of his team off, or he wanted to make sure that they were straight, thus announcing his 7-figure Twitch deal. To retire from something that was pulling in stacks of cash every year was a pretty big move, and you don't just announce something like that without having a plan. And what better plan than to bring an already hardcore cult-like fan base to a platform where millions of people are cashing out off of just playing video games. And he did a great way of announcing his transition as he announced he was dropping his last album in June of 2020, which ended up being his biggest debut of his career, and was also going to be streaming a listening party on Twitch. This was a win-win for both Twitch and Logic because he has always in some way been connected to the gaming community, and he had gained a ton of hype in the past when streaming on Twitch. And if you guys know anything about Logic's come up, a large part of it was through FaZe Clan using his music in a lot of their sniping montages.
Hypnotized, everybody be sure, I'ma always want more. Does anybody make real shit anymore?
That was back when people were still actively posting sniping montages, which Call of Duty in general is just completely dead these days, but still interesting to note. But despite it being a 7-figure deal, Twitch was getting a lot out of this as well, because according to academics who also signed a deal with Twitch, he claimed that they told him they are actively trying to make more of an impact on hip-hop culture. This is why we're starting to see a lot more rappers try to do the Twitch thing, like Tory Lanez, for example. I'm not sure if he signed a Twitch deal necessarily, but clearly they are becoming more influential in that space. So Logic started streaming, and his first stream was dedicated to doing the whole goodbye thing, talking more in depth about why he decided to quit, his feelings towards the negative feedback on his music over the past 5 years, and his thoughts on some of the contemporaries he was compared to a lot, such as, Drake, or Cole, Kendrick. The first stream was easily the most viewed stream, as he made a pretty big scene about quitting, such as crying and really making it seem like he was done making music forever. But not too long after, we started to see the views in his stream decrease over time. Now, he did have a few viral moments, such as playing Among Us with XQC and PewDiePie, some awesome freestyle sessions, and playing some unreleased music, such as a remix over Kendrick Lamar's Rigor Mortis, which I thought was really dope. Over time, people began to claim that the streams tended to be pretty boring because he wasn't allowed to talk about certain stuff pertaining to his music or allowed to even play unreleased music due to copyright issues. Also, his chat would be pretty annoying since they constantly just asked for him to collab with specific artists and to drop his previously teased album, Ultra 85. On top of this, Logic was very inconsistent on stream after the initial weeks of starting. Another thing I want to mention is that Twitch in general is difficult to grow on these days. A lot of people claim that video games fell off in general, and still till this day, it seems like Fortnite is the #1 game to be playing on the platform, which is kind of depressing. So in order to make Twitch a full-time thing, you have to be interesting, game with interesting people, or kind of do what Aiden Ross does, which is constantly have new celebrities come onto the stream. This is something Logic could have easily done in my opinion, and when he did, it was one of his most viewed streams/videos. Tory Lanez is a great example of what Logic should have done in my opinion. He constantly engages with fans and even makes music with them.
Should pass on this beat, press 1. 1. If we should go to another one, press 1. If we should stay on the beat, press 2.
He then let them come up with a title, and then he went into the booth and streamed the entire process of making the song. On top of that, he absolutely shredded the performance. It's little things like this that really keeps the audience engaged. Logic did something similar as well, but he kind of just sat there and seemed just stressed out about making a song.
So it's more for fun, right? It's more for the fun. It's more for the fun. Leave them up. It's more for the sun. It's more for the fun. More for the fun. It's more for the fun.
There was no engagement with the chat at all. He didn't really even seem to read the comments ever, which I read that he hated to do so, and he literally had hired someone to monitor the comments at all times for him instead. Another reason why I believe Logic is unretiring is due to the demand of his music increasing after the positive feedback that his quote-unquote last album received. If we take a look at some of the statistics, No Pressure debuted at number 2 on the US Billboard Top 200 chart. It sold 221,000 album units, including 172,000 copies as pure album sales. This is the most copies he ever sold in the first week of dropping. You know the album is good when even Fantano liked it, despite not liking a majority of Logic's albums in most of his reviews.
This new Logic album, it's not good.
After No Pressure dropped, Logic started to feel how it was like when a majority of hip-hop fans were actually feeling his shit again. But the bigger he got and the more redundant his sound had gotten over the years, the feeling eventually faded away. And like any product with a high demand, the lack of supply only increased the demand even further. So much so that Logic began dropping projects again, while claiming that he's still retired. First, he released music under the alias called Doc D, but he made an official comeback when he released Bobby Tarantino 3 in July of 2021, only 1 year after retiring. This showed that he clearly wanted to come back into the rap game and gave into the temptations of fans really wanting new music from him. However, it only sold 19,000 units first week. Now, some people would say that he was just trying to fulfill his contract with Def Jam, but why would he claim retirement when he still was obligated to drop more albums according to his contract? It just led to a bunch of unnecessary drama that could have been avoided, and overall makes the drop of No Pressure, announcing retirement, and announcing a Twitch deal just seemed like a huge cash grab.
I just think that rollout of retirement has been cheapened to such an extent that now I'm just like, why? What is the reason? Is it because you're looking for that gratification from the audience? Is it that you're still seeking that respect and admiration from the hip hop community that you feel that you didn't get when you were making music a bit more consistently early on in your career?
So here we are today, and he's now officially stopped streaming, but he's done interviews on why he's returned back to rap, and I'll play a clip for you guys right here.
And then like literally less than a year later, I kind of unretired, which is funny, but I don't give a shit what anybody can say on the internet. I woke up one day and kind of wanted to do it again. But the fact of the matter is this, is like, I really did retire in a way. It was about, can you get the number ones? Can you go platinum? Can you this? Can you that? Can you da da da? And really a lot of that started with a chip on my shoulder being back in Maryland and people being like, oh, you ain't never going to have a mixtape. And then you make a mixtape. It's like, well, you're never going to go on tour. And then you go on tour. Okay, well, you ain't never going to sell out 500. And then you sell out 500 cap and then 1,000 and then 5,000, and before you know it, you're selling out Madison Square fucking Garden in New York City.
Basically, he realized he didn't necessarily have to quit music in order to retire. He claims that retirement is basically him not actively seeking out #1 hits, playing the game of trying to go viral, dropping at the best time, and selling the most albums, which I respect. But why? Why not try to create the best album that you can for the fans that have continuously supported you your entire career? Even if it takes 5 flipping years to drop an album like Kendrick Lamar, at least he still puts effort in. But yeah, he claims he's simply doing it because, you know, he loves to. And taking into consideration that he wasn't making as much money from Twitch than he was from dropping music, and overall, music is what his core fan base wanted from him. I mean, think of it, you got music videos, albums, features, tours, merch, meet and greets, and so much other stuff to profit off of when it comes to music. And I'm pretty sure when renegotiation for the Twitch deal came around, they probably didn't offer Logic as much money as a 7-figure deal, considering how low the streams were and his inconsistency with streaming. Final Days is dropping June 17th, and honestly, I'm kind of excited for it. I think retirement really showed Logic how much rap music meant to him and that he truly could not live without dropping music. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments though. What did you guys think of Logic's streams? What are some things you guys would have recommended for him to do as a streamer? And what are your thoughts on like Tory Lanez streams? As always, it is your boy Louaista, aka the Canvas Man. Don't forget to DM me on Instagram if you guys do need a canvas like the one on the screen. I can do any album or picture you want. Just hit me up on Instagram at Louaista. I reply extremely fast. They make for a great gift idea and decoration. And yeah, man, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.